When a client's lab work comes back and it shows that they have high cortisol, one of the first things that I do is actually reduce the amount of training that they're doing in the gym. While working out consistently should actually help with your body adapting to stress, too much can be a bad thing. And if there's a lot of other personal stress going on, we want to reduce as much stress as possible. She had a very valid concern, and that was that she was going to lose all the gains with us going from 5 days of working out to just 3 days of working out. That can obviously be super scary, but I wanted to switch her perspective a little, so hear me out. We could see on her labs that the high cortisol was also now beginning to affect her other hormones. It was raising her blood sugar and her insulin. It was causing her sex hormones to be downregulated. Her testosterone was lowering. Thyroid function wasn't quite where it should be, and sleep is taking a little bit of a hit. With chronically elevated cortisol, we can see chronically elevated glucose levels. Insulin is actually an anabolic hormone, so if we're constantly pumping out more glucose and therefore more insulin, we become insulin resistant over time. The more insulin sensitive you are, typically the better body composition you'll get. Testosterone and estrogen also play a role in building muscle, so when cortisol directly lowers those, it can impact our ability to build muscle. Additionally, when you're not sleeping well and your hormones are all out of whack, you're going to have lower energy, you're going to have less motivation, and therefore you're probably not going to work out nearly as hard, you're going to be more inflamed, and that all in turn is going to lead to a worse body composition. If she were not to get the high cortisol under control, we could eventually lead to stage 3 and 4 of adrenal fatigue, where cortisol eventually just plummets. This is actually harder to get out of and can feel significantly worse. Looking into the future at what can happen if we don't do preventative action, she was able to clearly see why it's super important that we pull back from training and begin to really focus on stress management.